Hi y'all, welcome out to the patio for some wine and patio talk. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. I can't get my fancy little glass stopper thingy back in there. My name's Erin, for those of you who are new to the channel. I typically talk time management tips and tricks or DIY hacks on your planner or functional suggestions and things like that. So God baby's up running around in the front. What I wanted to come talk today, I get questions, why did you get into planning? What made you decide to start using a planner? That kind of stuff. So I want to share my story today. And I'm doing the Wild 30 super group. So it's a little bit different. You guys have heard me talk about Wild 30 before. This one is a week of declutter, a week of Llama Loves Lettering from Cindy. It's a week of creative journaling with Mika, and then a week of budgeting with Jen. Well, Amanda does the declutter, and I've done Amanda's declutter before. Absolutely loved it. It's great. It's very cathartic, can't talk tonight, because you're not only kind of just cleaning up your house and cleaning out those closets or those places or your home or whatever, but it's also taking a kind of mental and spiritual inventory and what is that mental block that causes the unhealthy habits that create the clutter. All right, so today is a hard day for me, and it plays into why I got into planning, and I'm really not gonna cry. I promise I'm gonna try not to cry. I may drink lots of wine, but I'm gonna try not to cry. I got into planning when I was 10 years old. I went from a very unhealthy home environment, emotionally and physically abusive, and went to live with my grandparents. And my grandmother's home was always very routine, very structured. There were a lot of people that lived in the house. There were 20 of us. So down to Tuesdays at 4 p.m. was your time to use the washing machine, and if you were tall enough to hit the buttons, you did your own laundry. And if you missed 2 p.m. or 4 p.m. on Tuesday, you didn't get to do laundry again until it was your next turn, because, you know, with 20 people in the house, the washing machine was always very full. We had certain days that we did chores, and it was very structured. And it was very hard for me to adapt coming from an extremely chaotic environment to a more structured environment. And I never really felt safe. I was kind of always waiting for that other shoe to drop off, and was extremely high strung and very emotional. And to help me regain control, she gave me one of those calendars that came with her yearly bank passbook. So like bukus of thousands of years ago, there was an online banking. They sent you a passbook every year for your checking account and your savings account, and usually in it there was like a wall calendar and then a little mini calendar that you could throw in your purse. And she gave me that calendar one January. I was 10. I wasn't 11 yet. It was the January between turning 10 and 11, and told me to write down every day one thing that I had control over. If it was the time of day that I took a bath, or getting up in the morning and making my bed, or just something. If it was telling somebody I loved them, or whatever, the one thing a day that I had control over. She told me to write it down and check it off. And then once I could do that for a whole week, to add 2 things a day that I had control over. And it was kind of a way of helping me gain a sense of security and a sense of stability in my life. And it grew from there. You know, I started having my little calendar. I was the crazy 7th grader with the calendar and the Velcro binder with all the pages and the notes, and that was me. And when I was in my 20s, it went to a whole nother extreme. She passed away 24 hours before my daughter was born. And that year, my life felt so out of control that I went to this crazy extreme where I was writing down what time of day to pick the dead leaves off the plants. And yeah, that wasn't healthy either. My calendar and my planner and my agenda, I have control over that. I can block out a period of time and say, okay, this is when I want to get these tasks done, and this is when I'm going to take time for me. And here I am, almost 50 years old, and I still struggle some days with healthy, and I'm using that word healthy, time management habits. I'm very rigid in my time management, sometimes to the point where it becomes unhealthy because I'm getting to that extreme where I'm picking dead leaves off the plants every other Tuesday. And you don't want to be like that. You want your planner to be organic and to be with you. I'm not gonna lie, right now I'm at a very challenging place in my life. I've recently had a hysterectomy. My oldest child is getting married. I've changed careers. I was in a job for 6 years that had become extremely routine and extremely patterned for me, that I had a lot of control over what happened in those day-to-day tasks. And right now, you know, sometimes I just feel I just feel like I can't get it all done. Amanda's challenge today in the declutter was examining the emotional baggage that we have. And I have a lot of emotional baggage, and it's really hard for me this time of year. And I think we all have those certain days or those certain months or those parts of the year that here I am, you know, 22 years after my grandmother's passed away almost, and I feel like I've dealt with it and I feel like I'm over it, but the subconsciousness of it still seeps into your life. I always joke with my husband that I just want to make her proud. And I don't realize sometimes how much pressure that puts on me, because I know I've made bad decisions in my life, and I know I've done things to let people down. And you know what? That's okay. It's part of being human. It's part of growing and adapting. I'm so overwhelmed right now that the only thing that I feel like I have control over is when I take my downtime. And what I realized today is that I'm taking a lot of downtime, and that's not healthy. You know, it's not healthy to come straight in from work, cook food, clean the kitchen up, and go to bed. I tell myself, as long as I get up in the morning and I make my bed, it's a good day. Yeah, it's not a good day. I need to challenge myself, and I need to set better goals to be healthy. And I need to remind myself that I'm gonna cuss, and I don't cuss in my videos very often, but you know what? I'm pretty damn lucky. I really am. I have a job. I have healthy kids. I have healthy grandkids. My husband's healthy. It's good. I have a beautiful patio that I get to sit on and drink wine every night. And it's okay. It's okay. Um, my last few videos, I've talked about the challenges of change and people who don't know how to work the gate in the front that honk their horn for no reason. I don't even know if y'all heard that. What is it that keeps us from being the best that we can be? So, my new challenge to myself is to wake up tomorrow and not just pick one thing that I have control over, but what's the one thing I can change in my attitude when I approach tomorrow? I like a clean, orderly house. Yeah. I mean, my house is clean. If you came through it, you'd be like, okay, your house is clean. But my dogs are being crazy, and I have the dog behavioral person coming to my house tomorrow at 3. What real world problems do I have? I have a lady coming to my house tomorrow to evaluate my dogs, to tell me why they're fighting so much and what I can do differently. But you know what? The God's honest truth is, I am high strung right now, and my dogs are being high strung. I've had panic attacks the last couple of weeks, and I haven't had panic attacks in 15 years. What does that tell me? I'm not being productive. I'm not taking control. I'm not doing what I need to do to take care of me. I'm so busy trying to learn a new job, trying to adapt to changes in my life, trying to come to terms with things that have changed in my life, that I'm not taking that moment. I'm not being sin. I'm kind of on autopilot, and being on autopilot isn't always good. So, I may not have the prettiest planner the next 2 to 3 weeks, but I do want to start writing down something in that planner every day that's going to help me feel like I'm regaining a little bit of control in my own life, and that I'm being healthy and I'm being productive, besides tracking my water intake and making sure I take my daily vitamins. You know, that's the bare minimum stuff. I need to push myself. I need to do it for me, and I need to do it for the people around me that I love and that I care about, because I can't be the best me if I'm not taking care of me. Oh, the little dog just got a lizard. Oh, she's so cute. She makes me want to strangle her some days, but she's so doggone cute. I love my little dog. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get distracted. So that's why I got into planning. So why did you get into planning? And going into, we're approaching the end of the year. Oh my God, believe it or not, it's fixing to be November. We have like 8 weeks left in this year. And this is the time where we start to kind of evaluate, what did we do this last year? What do we want to start doing different in our lives? Well, here's my challenge to you. We don't have to wait till January 1st to make changes in our life. We can wake up any day. It doesn't have to be a Monday. It doesn't have to be the first of the month. It can be any day that we choose. We can get up and we can make change whenever we're ready to make change. So here's my question. Are you ready to make change? And if you're ready to make change, what kind of changes can you make that will impact your life? What's going to help you feel more stable and more at peace and feel like you have a little bit of control in this chaos and craziness that is the world. You know, if politics are making you crazy, don't read about politics on Facebook. If it's the drop-off line at the elementary school that's making you crazy, find something that you can take with you to distract you during that drop-off line. If you aren't motivated to get up and make your bed every morning, you know what? Just do it. Make the decision to make that positive change today. That's when it's going to impact you the most. I've rambled. I don't even know if this video made any sense. I hope that it did. I hope that it helped somebody. I just want everybody to know, if you're out there and you're feeling alone and you're feeling lost and you feel like you jumped into this planner community because it was going to make everything right in the world, it's okay if it hasn't made it right in your world. You have the power and you have the strength and you have the choice of making it right in the world. So my challenge to you is, don't wait till Monday. Don't wait till the first of the month. Don't wait till the first of the year. Get up tomorrow morning and write one thing down in your planner that can help you be the best you that you can be. Because the only person who controls who you are is you. You can't control the chaos and the craziness that goes on around you. You can only control how you react to it and how you choose to face it. And thank you for listening to my crazy rant and listening to my convoluted story on why I got into planning. And with the dogs barking and being crazy, I'm gonna say good night, y'all. Remember, we all got a plan. We just all do it a little bit differently. Night.